Welcome to the first ever Scots Talk. My name is Bradley Hoppenstein with our first guest, Mr. Ethan Shapiro. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Bradley?
I'm doing great, thank you. So let's just get right into it. How does it feel to be the 10th headmaster of St. Andrew's School?
Yeah, it feels great. It's obviously a huge honor. It's a load of stress off of my mind, but it's something that I've been looking forward to for several months now, and I know it comes with a lot of responsibility, but overall I couldn't be happier, and I'm so excited.
So what are some things you'd like to accomplish this school year then?
Well, I think the school year's off to a great start, and for me personally, on a personal note, I'm looking forward to getting to know as many members of the school community as I can, because this is a big community, 1,280 students, a whole bunch of parents, a lot of alums, 290-something employees. So I've only been here 15 or 16 months, so I've got to know a lot of people, but there's so much more I want to get to know about the school. So personally for me, that's goal number one.
Yeah, and we'd also love to get to know more about you. So tell me a little about your life before St. Andrews, where you grew up, went to school,
Right.
all that.
I was born in Boston, grew up in the Boston area, went to undergraduate at Colby College, which is a little liberal arts school in Maine, got my master's degree from Middlebury College, which is up in Vermont, small school as well. Spent almost 3 years in what was then the former Soviet Union, and then worked at a small K through 9 school called the Fay School in Southborough, Mass. And then I worked at Exeter for 29 years before coming here.
So St. Andrews in Florida, and then Exeter in New Hampshire, Boston.
Yeah.
Obviously very different type places.
Yeah.
How are you adjusting?
It's been an adjustment that I think the two biggest things for me, one is that this is JK through 12, whereas Exeter was just a high school. So that's a big adjustment. And two, Exeter was about 80% boarding students, and this is mostly day. So those have been really the two bigger adjustments, probably bigger than being down in Florida.
Yeah. So then, staying with Florida, what are some things you like to do now that you're in the warm weather?
Yeah.
You know, you have the beaches, the sun.
Yep. So I like the weather. I'm not a huge fan of May to like October, but I love sort of October, November to May. So I'm looking forward to that. I love the temperature now. I like just there's sort of more of a low-key atmosphere in Florida than compared to like the Northeast.
Well, with the weather, we're waiting for it to cool down a little bit.
Yep.
It still feels like summer.
Yep.
So I know you started your career as a teacher. So what influenced you to take the education field?
That's a good question. When I finished up my master's degree, that was in Russian language and literature in 1983. I'm dating myself. And if you had that degree in 1983, there were sort of two main ways you could go. You could do government or military work, or you could go into education, because the sort of the business end of that wasn't really big in 1983 because it was the Soviet Union time. Yeah. And so I was actually looking at either going into officer candidate school for one of the service branches, or if you had a master's in Russian in 1983, the CIA and the NSA and the FBI were all interested in people. So I did interview with those organizations, but at the end of the day, a bunch of my friends were going into teaching, and I kind of decided to go that way.
Got it. Well, we're glad to have you with us, obviously. So based on your experience, your time in school, your time as an administrator, what's the best advice you can give your St. Andrews students?
Well, I would say work hard, have fun, and try and get the most out of all the opportunities that are offered here. The school is offering so much that and most kids I think do that, but I would say find that balance of work and play, stay healthy.
Right. I agree. I think that's very wise. So thank you for coming out today. To close us out, can you say something funny in Russian for me?
So funny in Russian. Well, there's a kind of everything in Russian sounds funny to Americans that don't know Russian. So it doesn't have to be funny in Russian, but it might sound funny in English. And there's a little saying called "Shi kasha pisha nasha," which I think you know what that means, right?
I do not know what that means.
It just means cabbage soup and kasha are our foods. But in Russian...
That is beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? All right, Bradley.
Thanks,
dude.
All right. That was our first Scots Talk with Mr. Shapiro. From the studio, my name is Bradley Hoppenstein.
And I'm Ethan Shapiro, and I guess we're signing off.
That's it.